As part of your final project assignment, you'll need to create a logo in Publisher. It's pretty simple to do. The first thing I did, here's an example of a logo that I created using for Flying Monkey Resort. I combined clip art, a little bit of some basic shapes, and came up with my own design. So the first thing I did was I went to the Insert menu, down to Picture and Clip Art, and then I went ahead and searched for monkey. Because this is for Flying Monkey Resort, I wanted to have a monkey that looked like he was flying through the trees, so that's why I chose this one. And so here I have the monkey, and the next step then is to bring in, I wanted this kind of to look like a flying banner of some sort because he's just moving so fast. Over on the toolbar under the auto shapes, you can see for flowchart or block arrows, or there's lots of basic shape, there's lots of different shapes. In my case, because I wanted that kind of movement vision happening, I went to flowchart and chose this one. And I just clicked and dragged right over the top of the monkey. Then from there, I went ahead and updated the line. I could I could change the line as well as the thickness. It could really make it as thick or as thin as needed. And once I did that, then I went ahead and inserted a text box and typed in the information. Of course, I went ahead and, like here, I wanted it to be, bold, larger in size. This is a little too large. Also, it may be a little difficult to see on the screen, but I have the text box just a little bit of yellow so that it's easier to read. When you look at that font versus this, it's hard to read with the monkey in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the properties for the text box. An easy way to do that is I have the text box selected, and I'm just going to go ahead and right click it and format text box. The color is no fill. I'm going to go ahead and choose a light yellow. The nice thing you have though is this transparency. So I'm just going to bring it down so it's just barely visible, but it's just enough to hide that monkey in the background, and I'm able to read that text a little bit better. Once I have all of these items, so I have clip art, I have a basic shape, as well as a text box, I'm going to go ahead and hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to select all three of these items. Then I'm going to group the objects so they're in one item. Once they are all grouped, I should be able to move it around as one unit. Once you've done that, make sure that just your logo is selected, and then you're going to right click, Save as Picture. So right click that, Save as Picture, and then I don't recommend saving it as a PNG. I would go ahead for the Save As type. I would drop down and save it as a GIF, a graphics interchange format. I would save it as a GIF if you are using kind of this cutesy kind of image. If you decide to use an actual real photo for yours, then I would probably do a JPEG or a TIFF. In my case, because I don't have any real photos, I'm going to keep it as GIF, and I'm going to call this Flying Monkey Resort logo. And there is how to create a logo within Publisher.